Now today I'm going to be roasting up some vegetables and serving mine with some pieces of salmon. Now as an alternative to salmon, maybe you might prefer maybe chicken breast, lamb chops or pork chops. Entirely up to you, but I'm going to go with the salmon. Now with the vegetables, I've got a selection here. Obviously you can mix and match whatever you've got, whatever's on special offer or maybe what's in season. Now with the vegetables, there is a slightly different roasting time. Now the ones that you don't need to roast so much in this pot is the asparagus and your tomatoes. Things like shallots, the new potatoes, I've got parsnips and a red pepper. They will need roasting a lot longer to get a nice bit of colour on them. So I've got a selection of vegetables there. I've also got 3 cloves of garlic, which I'm going to crush down, and we're going to add that up and sort of mix it all up together to just give it a lovely garlicky flavour. And I've also got some fresh basil, which I'm just going to break the leaves off, mix it all up at the end, and you know, it just gives it a nice flavour and it goes really well with the salmon. Now, instead of basil, you could consider using something like rosemary, because that would go really well with the vegetables, and it would also go well with something like, you know, pork chops or lamb chops. So mix and match whatever you want to use. Now with the piece of salmon, I'm going to slice that lemon and just put the pieces over the top of that. Once the sort of potatoes and, you know, you're on your way, it's sort of got a nice colour on it, then I'm just going to place the pieces of salmon on top of the potatoes and then, you know, put the asparagus and tomatoes in there. And it's all cooked in the one sort of dish. So nice and easy in the oven. Now the other things I've got is some salt and black pepper. So, you know, you need to season your vegetables and the salmon as well. I've also got some balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil. So good splash of that all over the vegetables gives it a lovely flavour. So that's all the sort of ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is go and wash off the vegetables, and things like the potatoes and the parsnips, I'm going to boil those for about 10-12 minutes in some boiling salty water. So let's go over to the hob and pop those in the boiling water. Now I'm just going to put some salt in there, and then I've got my potatoes and my parsnips, which are the ones we need to boil. Now with some of the potatoes, I did cut them down if they were a little bit too big. So pop a lid on that, keep them boiling, bring it up to the boil, and I would say for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the very most. Now with the potatoes and parsnips, I've had those boiling, just coming up for 10 minutes, so I'm going to switch them off the heat, take this over to the sink, drain away the water, and then we can go over to the table and pour them in the baking dish, all ready for roasting. Now I'm also going to add all the rest of it. That's it. And I'm going to put some olive oil and season it with salt and pepper. So freshly ground black pepper, and some salt. Give it a move around. Now that is ready to go in the oven. Now I've got my oven set at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6. So I'm going to place mine in the oven, let it cook until you start to get a really nice colour on the potatoes. Now I've been cooking mine for 40 minutes. I did have a peek at 30, but I thought they just need that little bit extra. So let's have a look at these. Look at that. Oh, they look good already. Now I'm going to take those out, put them on the table. That's it, I've just taken it out of the oven. Now, I've got my garlic press here, and I'm just crushing some of this garlic. That's it, like that. Trim that off. Lovely. I'm just going to pop in tomatoes. Obviously got to leave a bit of space for the salmon somewhere, and just randomly put these in, just make a couple of places there like that. Now I'm going to season it. Again, a little bit of black pepper. And also, I'm going to use some olive oil. Just put a little bit extra. There you go. Then we've got the balsamic vinegar. Now this really does add a lovely flavour. So just try and sprinkle it. Put a reasonable amount on. And finally, we've got the salmon. Just squeeze that last one in somewhere. Move that around a little bit. Again, just on the fish. Do need to season that. A little bit of black pepper. And of course a little bit of salt as well. With the lemon, just pop that on like that. There you go. So now we've got the fish in there, all dressed up with that lemon, looks delicious. Now I'm going to place that back in the oven, same temperature, so 200 degrees Celsius. And what I'm going to do is just cook until the fish is cooked, nice and flaky. So it could be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, depending on the thickness of your salmon. So get it in the oven, get it cooking, keep an eye on it. When it's nice and flaky, pull it out and serve it up. Now I've had the salmon cooking for just over 15 minutes and I reckon that's just about done. So I'm going to pull mine out, but look at that, looks absolutely delish. Now let's put that on the table, go and serve some up. Oh. Now I've just taken it out the oven. Now with the fish, you can always check to see if it's, okay, because if you pull it, it should be nice and flaky, look at that. And you don't want it all dried out. That is lovely. 15 minutes, obviously depends on the thickness of your salmon, but keep an eye on it and you can always test a little bit. The asparagus, the tomatoes, they look wonderful because the tomatoes have kind of popped, but they're still holding the juices. So I'm going to serve that up on a plate and try some. Oh yeah, look at that. And then get some of those vegetables. You want to try and get a bit of everything. Just going to pop one of those tomatoes there. Look at that, looks delish. Now I'm just going to try that. Now before I do, I might just pop a little bit of that basil. A little bit of basil. I mean, I might mix a little bit in with the rest of the vegetables, but I think the basil's a nice little touch. Now let's just try a little bit of the fish to start with. See how we are there. Look at that. Lovely, moist, and that is going to be delicious. Let's just try that. That is lovely. Oh. And you do get that lemon come through. Nicely seasoned. Delicious. Now, let's try some of these roasted vegetables. Really nice with that garlic, and you've got the balsamic vinegar. That is delicious. That really goes well with the salmon as well. Oh, lovely. There's one of these shallots there. Oh, it's going to be good. Last bit. Shallot's not too powerful, really lovely flavour, roasted flavour. You can't go wrong with this. It's delicious. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. The Original Naked Chef. Oh, delish.